Welcome back, everybody. Today's review is episode 7 of my 31 Days of Horror Winter Horrorland. This is another one of those weird films. It's also one of those films that has a title where you'd confuse it with a completely different one. The film that everybody knows of is the film from 1998, I believe, and it stars Michael Keaton as the main character. And this one from 1997, and I'm talking about the B movie Jack Frost. Where the tagline is, "He's chillin' and killin'." The poster looks nothing like the snowman that you'd see in the actual movie. It could also be that they designed the poster in such a way that it's a poster that draws your attention to see this really bad creature, but in reality the snowman actually is like the average snowman. I would say it's reminiscent of the one from the Michael Keaton film in terms of look. Now you can tell that it's a suit that somebody's wearing, like you can tell it's not actually snow. If you don't know the plot behind this version, here's what IMDb has for the summary. After an accident that left murderer Jack Frost dead in genetic material, the vengeful killer returns as a murderous snowman to exact his revenge on the man who sent him to be executed. And basically, Jack's final words to the cop was that he'd always find a way. And if you watch it, keep that in mind till the very final scene. The movie did get a sequel because I guess keeping it with the theme, Jack Frost always finds a way to come back. The opening title sequence, it starts with that, and the shots are actually, it's just a pan down or a tilt down, or it's a unique tracking shot that starts at the top of a tree and goes all the way down to the bottom, and various things that it shows actually have the opening credits on it, which is really cool. And another thing that works great with it is it basically starts out with somebody telling the tale of Jack Frost, and can't remember exactly everything that is said, but I think he basically describes to the girl who wants a scary bedtime story that I think he describes the entire movie in a way, but it's done in such a way that it's backstory for the film. Everything just works well the way it's placed, and then the transition match cut I really like after the opening credits into the first scene where we're introduced to the prisoner transport vehicle that's transporting Jack. It's like snow across the screen. I can't remember, but I think they focus on a snow globe and use that to transition to a shot where it's snowing outside, which is really cool. I couldn't tell where the cut actually was. They did a really good job with that. When I first wrote the notes, it looked like Jack was being transported in an ice cream truck. In a later scene, it was revealed to be a prisoner transport vehicle. On first glance, that's a really cool touch. The way that they shot it to make it seem like that, if that was intentional. It's one of those films that's so bad, it's good film. Now, some people might disagree with me on that. I found this film to be very funny, and it's not a film that you should take seriously. The whole movie's just a joke, but it works well. The whole opening, 5-10 minutes, I really loved because, well, the editing scene I felt was timed perfectly. It had 3 different people, 3 different cuts, and it was all them saying, "What the f***?" Each word is a different cut to a different character saying the words, and I thought that just flowed really well. Just timing of everything, it was each character said a different word, and yeah. The editing of the film didn't feel like it was forced or anything. I think every scene went on for as long as it needed to. It wasn't under edited or over edited. The kills are really good, and they happen at key moments in the film, or at least the beginning kills happen at key moments, and I feel that really works for this slasher film. They don't seem forced at all. One of the funniest scenes, like, just imagine this. A snowman steals a cop car and runs over the cop. We're talking a snowman here that just water. The film is just so outrageous that, like, you gotta go into it with an open mind and know that you're not going to take the film seriously. Otherwise, you're just going to hate the film. The special effects are good. They mask some of the problems with the snowman by cutting around it, using POV shots, and I think they did a really good job that it makes it believable, so that when you get to the more intense scenes, you can focus more on making the puppet or whatever guy in a suit intimidating, more realistic. Spoiler alert, it turns out the only way to actually kill him is to use antifreeze, which the brand that is used, I noticed at the end when they were tossing it into a grave where they were burying all the stuff, it was called Anti-Frost. Just found it was really funny. Yeah, and then obviously Jack Frost comes back and is in the sequel, which I'll be looking at in a bit, and they kind of hint at that. So I don't know if the sequel directly follows this film or there's some time in between. I'll have to wait and see for that. But yeah, I don't really think I had any issues with this film. It's going to be a pretty high rating that probably a lot of people are going to disagree with. I mean, I remember thinking while watching it, like, a 9 would be a good rating for this because it's an entertaining film, so I'm going to have to go with that. It is a bad movie, but it's one of those entertaining ones that is not meant to be taken seriously. It's all jokes. I did see an edited version of it, so there were a few more explicit scenes. Like, anybody who's a fan of horror films knows about this film and one particular scene with one of the characters, and it was edited just a little bit, but I'm not entirely sure where. Like, the version I saw, even though it was edited for those specific shots, it didn't feel out of place because it left what was happening to the viewer's imagination, and I think that still worked, even though it wasn't like the full scene, stuff like that. It's a scene where it's like, if you know about the scene, you know about the scene. I'm not going to get into it because it's just an overall weird scene. I hope you liked my review of the 1997 version of Jack Frost, not the Michael Keaton one. That one's more family friendly than this one. Stay tuned for the upcoming reviews and see you in the next one.